as well as by panelists invited from various African countries. In this discussion, quality education was defined by panelists. Actually, eventually, one of the panelists was Professor Hirut Waldemariam, the former Ethiopian higher education minister. She was one of the panelists, and it was quality education from regardless of the quality education definitions that we know in education system. It was redefined as quality education, an education system that takes into consideration the national goal of that particular country, and also an education system that can solve societal problem, as well as an education system that aligns with the global situation and the future perspective of each country. In doing so, the quality of education in Africa is not meeting the goal intended to meet so far because of many reasons. The fundamental reason for Africa's quality education failure is that it was largely driven or copied from the Western curriculum, so that it fails to address societal problem at large. It is colonial education system, as it was discussed in the panel discussion, as colonial-based education system, so it failed to solve Africa's problem as it was intended to do so. The other thing is the education system has to be transformative. Maybe the world, the global situation is changing every other day, so that it has to be transformative enough, and the system, the policy has to be designed in a way it meets that interest and need of society, as well as the ever-changing global situation. When we talk about quality education, it has an attachment with various, for example, various reasons. The reasons are, one is power. No electric power at most African schools. It was indicated that maybe these days the education system has to be digitalized, as every other discipline or every other aspect, politics, education, everything is digitalized these days. Education is also there has to be smart classrooms, smart teaching learning systems, and digitalizing the education system is mandatory so as to make African education solve African problem as the way it was discussed during the other things, other social problems, economy, for example, nutrition, health service, and other service provided are also, they do have their own impact on an effort being exerted to give quality education to African youth. So to solve all these problems, it was as a solution, it was indicated that all stakeholders have to make their own effort. Of course, the government was mentioned as an institution that shares the giant share, so as to make Africa education indigenous. Maybe it was also mentioned that Africa has its own indigenous knowledge and wisdom that has to be inculcated in the curriculum design. In the second session of the panel discussion focused on climate change. It was empowering the youth to make Africa's future climate change resilient. That was a discussion point, and it was mentioned that Africa is highly vulnerable due to climate change impact and other reasons. So, but the contribution of Africa for overall climate change impact is not as such significant, but the vulnerability is very much high. In this regard, Ethiopia's representative was one of the panelists who just gave us reflection. It was indicated that Ethiopia in the last 6 years managed to plant more than 40 billion tree seedlings in an effort being exerted to develop a climate change resilient economy. Ethiopia has just designed a policy that follows green economic development, and this green economic development policy is aligned with various initiatives. That are Green Legacy is one, and also other activities are being well underway, and Ethiopia shared its experience to other African countries, of course sharing, and other African countries are also adopting this Ethiopia's lesson, Ethiopia's experience. Anwar, I think we are running out of time. Let me stop here. Thank you.
Wow, thanks so much for that wonderful presentation. Of course, updating us on the progress of the summit. And it's true that the future of our continent lies in the hands of its youth. Let's move on to other news items. European Union and Ethiopia signed the annual action program agreement allocating 240 million euros or 32.3 billion Ethiopian birr. Minister of Finance of Ethiopia Ahmed Shide and EU Ambassador to Ethiopia Sophie from Emmersberger inked the program yesterday. Under this agreement, the EU will provide financial and technical support for a total amount of 240 million euros to enhance Ethiopia's development across several critical areas. During the signing ceremony, Minister of Finance Ahmed Shide emphasized that the signing symbolizes the deepening of the 50-year partnership between Ethiopia and EU.
Grateful for the EU's comprehensive support under Annual Action Program 2024, which aims to stimulate private sector investment in agribusiness, modernize tax and customs systems, and develop emerging capital markets. This package will also enhance digital skills in technical and vocational education and training (TVET), restore essential health services, strengthening democratic institutions, and creating lasting solutions for IDPs.
Similarly, Ambassador of EU to Ethiopia, Sophie from Emmersberger, stated that the signing of this program is a testament to the half-century partnership between Ethiopia and European Union.
The program that's signing today, our cooperation is spanning various sectors, and Mr. Minister, you have highlighted many of them, each contributing to strengthening Ethiopia's economy, its development, and the well-being of your people.
Ambassador Sophie Emmersberger, by the way, was ambassador of Finland to Kenya and NATO. Moving on to other news items which would be live from other regional states of Ethiopia. The Ethiopian National Dialogue Commission has given press briefing on the agenda gathering session which will begin in Amhara regional state tomorrow. Commissioner of the Ethiopian National Dialogue Commission, Dr. Melaku Weldemariam, says the agenda gathering session of the Amhara regional state will involve 10 constituencies having over 4,500 community representatives. Our reporter Daniel Chala, who is also English newsroom anchor, joins us live from Bahar Dar town, the capital of the regional state, for the latest development. Daniel, you can proceed. What was that briefing was all about?
Well, Anwar, thank you so much. Look, the Ethiopian National Dialogue Commission was established, 3 years ago. And through these years, the Commission has been doing great job, especially in gathering the agendas in a critical discussion point, which is believed to bring solutions, especially for the different various, diversified ideas. Anwar, tomorrow there will be a grand opening of national dialogue and agenda gathering session in the Amhara regional state. The point is, from 267 district waradas, indeed, over 4,500 community representatives were selected, which represents 10 constituencies, which includes indeed teachers, youth, women, people with disabilities, political party leaders, and you can prominent figure. You can name it. So these community representatives will bring the public agenda, the critical points which needs to be discussed, especially to bring solutions for the diversified ideas, different ideologies, which would believe to be a means of disagreement and problem, especially for security. So tomorrow will be a grand opening of agenda gathering session in Amhara regional state. Anwar, let's to this morning, as you stated in you read the story, the commissioners of Ethiopian National Dialogue Commission gave press briefing. Which intended to brief the preparations which has been done so far, especially in selecting the community representatives, so that they can and deliver the community issues which the community delegated to these representatives. Anwar, let's look at a short clip of the commissioner on today's briefing.
So far we have completed 10 regional states and city councils, and now we are on the 11th region of Ethiopia, which is now the Amhara regional state. So we are to conduct here a national dialogue process, and from over 263 waradas, we have nearly 6,000 participants who have already arrived. Majority of them have already arrived, and we're starting. So we kick off tomorrow, which is Saturday, and that means it is the 5th of April tomorrow, and so these have been selected from different set of societies. We call them constituents, technical term we use, because each constituency represents their identities, such as women, religious institutions, youth, teachers association, and many others. And we also have stakeholders who happen to come from political parties and religious institutions as well also. So these all together, as we said, are over 6,000. So we have the first phase tomorrow, and the second phase is going to be on Thursday.
Well, Anwar, Bardar city is, peaceful, and, the representatives are here at Bardar city to participate on the agenda gathering session, which will begin tomorrow. OBN will keep updating the ongoing process of agenda gathering in Bardar city, Amhara regional state, Anwar.
Thank you very much indeed, Daniel Chala, for that update, and your guest, Dr. Jonas Adaye, for that wonderful explanation. Of course, Commissioner and Lecturer of Addis Ababa University. Moving on to other news items. Ministry of Government Communication Service, Dr. Legesse Tullu, stated that the work being done in social, political, and economic sectors across Oromia region state in the last reform years has been bearing promising results. An exhibition showcasing the journey and achievements of Oromia region state over the last years of reform has been opened in Oromo Culture Center in Finfinne City. Leta Teresa has looked at the story of this.
Government Communications Service Minister Legesse Tullu, who attended the exhibition, highlighted that the development activities undertaken in the Oromia regional estate are promising for the attainment of the prosperity journey. In particular, he said that the effort is underway in social, political, economic, and investment sectors are encouraging. The minister reiterated that activities carried out in the education sector in school expansion with the focus on pre-primary schools, and the effort is made in the health sector are emboldening. In relation to peace, he said that tremendous efforts were made to bring lasting peace and stability. Legesse pointed out that effective work is done in agricultural development. Speaking about the open exhibition, he said the event has evidently showcased the successes achieved over the past 7 years of reform in the region.
We've observed an exhibition displaying the 7 years of reform journey. During the event, we've been able to recognize that encouraging development and good governance activities were done in the Oromia region. They contributed to the nation-building efforts and paved the way for the future prosperity of Ethiopia. Particularly in the agriculture sector, the efforts made in enhancing product and productivity both in quality and quantity and making its growth sustainable are astonishing.
Speaker of Jafe Oromia Sada Abdurrahman echoed the sentiment, adding the regional government has set ambitious plans with results have been registered. She underscored that the work is undertaken in the last 7 years of reform would help achieve prosperity. The speaker said strides have also been made in the agricultural sector in irrigated wheat cultivation, enhancing mechanization, tourism, development, mining, and building digital economy. According to her, exemplary works were done in relation to unlocking development potentials in addition to enhancing public participation. Speaker of the regional legislative party encouraged the people to continue to strengthen their participation in development endeavors.
The progress made in the last 7 years of reform journey are the results of the collaborative efforts of the government and the public as a government set a plan and the society joined hand in its implementation. The public supported the implementation of the government's plan in finance, knowledge and labor. The people should also retain their contribution towards the achievement of prosperity journey.
Oromia Communication Bureau head Hailo Adunya stated that the regional government has implemented development undertakings in the past 7 years of change, responding to public queries.
The
exhibition was organized to celebrate the achievements registered over the past 7 years of reform in the Oromia regional seat. It helps in achieving the activities being made to ensure inclusive prosperity, becoming best practices. Additionally, it provides awareness for the community about the progresses made in the region, demonstrating what the growth of our region looks like prior to the reform and the achievements registered after the reform.
That exhibition has been organized by Oromia Communication Bureau. To other news items. Ethiopia has taken transformational economic reform during the last 7 years, or 5 years, according to Fiscus International Public Financial Consulting Company. In an exclusive interview with Ethiopian news agency, Fiscus International Public Finance Consulting Company Director Andrew Lawson said the measures taken by the government have been transformational. According to him, open economies that have free floating exchange rates tend to perform better in international markets, and Ethiopia needed just to choose the right time to move towards that.
Internationally, we see that open economies that have freely floating exchange rates tend to perform better in international markets. And Ethiopia needed just to choose the right time to move towards that. In the longer term, this will open up opportunities. It will make it much easier for companies to import the products they need to create value added here in Ethiopia, and that can only be to the advantage of the Ethiopian people in the long term. And in the short term, I think the government has managed the economic reform very well.
On the benefit of the recent debt restructuring agreement with official creditors, the director said it will improve the reserve position of the government very significantly. And it is also a very good marker that Ethiopia is a credible country to do business with.
The debt restructuring is crucial. It will improve the reserve position of the government very significantly. And it's also a very good marker for the international economy that Ethiopia is a credible country to do business with. So I think the agreement of the debt restructuring is very important, both in terms of the reserves, but also in terms of the signal it gives about the creditworthiness of Ethiopia.
Thank you for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy. Bye-bye.